Shalom, beautiful people. Shalom, shalom aleichem. Shalom, my friends, chaverim, sheli. Who would have thought? I didn't know that the last video I posted was going to be last year. It'd be until a year later before you guys saw me again. But I trust and hope you are all well. As I shared in my last video, if you got to see it, I was going to not do any more videos where I say really much of my personal life. I don't share that much anyways. I haven't, but still, I still share more than I should. And was going to be focused on more study and music, which it should be. But I might share one last blog style type video, not in this one, but in the next one perhaps, possibly, because since the last time I saw you all, something has changed in my life, and I wanted to share that with you guys, and it was recorded too, so yeah, I might do one last blog style video perhaps, but yeah, so yeah, there's that. I'm going to be doing music this weekend, Baruch Hashem, very excited about that. But yeah, I can't invite you guys to it because that's the way it goes. Again, that's personal life, right? Hopefully someday though, God willing, someday I'll have some big concert and then everyone can come if they want. That is the hope and the dream, really, because I know that it would be bringing glory to God. I mean, it's awesome when He brings glory to us too, because we're glorifying Him, but how awesome it would be to have so many people hearing Him through the music I made. So, give me 1 second. I am back. And now the suspense is building, as you all have no idea what my last blog video will be about. Be like, did she get married? Maybe so. We'll see. Yes. I don't know. I just thought that'd be funny. I don't know what people are thinking. Probably not thinking that at all, but or I guess I wouldn't. Or engaged, I guess. Yes. So the Torah portion. That's right. So that's what was gonna happen. Was I had actually done a video about the Torah portion, the study, and then deleted it because as I looked at it again, I was like, oh my goodness, I'm so tired in this video. And I'm not even sharing it with as much enthusiasm as I'd like because it's a very fascinating thing. But again, it is a discussion. This is from the Torah portion, Exodus chapter 10, starting verse 1, and it's been talked about thousands of years over and over again by the sages and the rabbis of old. And I think I may have said this already, but I'm coming back to the video, so I don't remember if I said this already. And so this is nothing new, but it's just interesting to talk about, even though that's the case. And it is that it says in some translations, again, this is not in the Hebrew, so you definitely need to look in the Hebrew, but still, if you go to the different translations and this closely related, it has something to do along the lines with God saying that He's going to stiffen or harden Pharaoh's heart. And Rashi, as well as Nachmanides, Maimonides, they are all like, well, it's not fair, you know? God is merciful and everybody deserves a chance. But Rashi also points out that it is not until the 6th plague that there's truly this hardening of heart, and that Pharaoh had, when it comes to Pharaoh having a hardened heart, Pharaoh had opportunity after opportunity, seeing God's glory and magnificence over and over again. And there comes a point when, because God is holy, He says enough, which is what brings me to the point of the fact that we can't take God's grace, His mercy for granted. We can tell ourselves, guilty as charged, God's going to forgive me, He loves me. Well, yeah, He loves you, but He's holy. So if you do the wrong thing over and over again and somehow expect it to be okay, be aware, be warned, because Pharaoh had one opportunity after another. I believe that God was extremely merciful, and He's extremely merciful with us. And if we are knowingly doing something wrong over and over again, it's time to stop when we have the opportunity, because that's not right, because we love Hashem. We love being close to Him. We don't want to do these things. Amen. So, yeah, so it's a interesting thing, interesting conversation, but I think it's profound, a good reminder too. But you may have, it would be interesting to hear what you have pointed out, or what you have, or what your viewpoint is, or what you have information to share about that verse alone, that topic alone, because I like to hear you guys. And I'll try to be better about allowing comments in the comment section, as I haven't been too good about that lately. I know some people have asked, why isn't my comment showing up? And it's like, it's not because I don't want it to be, it's because I haven't had the time to view all the comments and allow them. And that is because of, in the past, having people comments that were just wrong, foul language, mean, terrible things. So from that point, after that, I was like, I'm going to set it up so I have to view the comments before they are permitted. So, and even, there's some great comments that I have missed in time past that show up later too, so be warned and aware of that. So again, if your comment wasn't allowed, it's not because I hate you. I love everyone. But it also might be that a comment is not allowed because it doesn't pertain to the subject matter itself. I've had that before, where people share a comment that's not bad, but it doesn't really have to do with the subject matter. So then I don't allow it there as well. Yeah. So, yeah, what was I going to say? It is really exciting, though, to be getting into that with the whole Moshe, the Exodus, because it means that we're getting closer to Pesach, to Passover, which is always amazing every year. And I'm really looking forward to see what this year has to do with, because the world is pretty crazy right now. Well, it's always been crazy, but it seems crazier these days. And I was not going to be talking about anything other than the study, but I think one interesting thing to point out, if you don't know this already, and I'm sure you guys have heard with everything that's going on, is that a lot of people are finding out now that, if they didn't know it already, that, and I don't know how to say this without YouTube censoring it, I guess. Maybe I won't say his name because they might censor it. So a certain doctor knew all along about the virus. Oh, I said virus. Okay, so now YouTube might pick that up. Of course, there's multiple kinds of viruses, so hopefully it will be fine. But a certain illness, I should have said that. And about the whole lab situation. And they have made, they have made the January 6th event to be like the worst thing in the world, which it was bad, violence at any level. But now that I know of what this certain doctor knew about, now that I know, it is far worse. His offense, to know and not get the truth out, the real truth, is far worse than the criminal acts, the violence acts that happened on January 6th of last year. Far worse offense, because we're talking about loss of life on a huge scale. And this certain doctor is guilty as charged. Why am I sharing this now? Because it's also interesting as we think about Pharaoh and Moshe and the plagues, because I do believe that Pharaoh knew that what he was doing was wrong. In the cultures of the time, there was slavery. That was not so unusual. But when God got into it and intervened, still Pharaoh was hardened. His heart was hardened. And there's that, we were talking about how it says God hardened his heart as well. But he had the opportunity. He could have had a change of heart, and he didn't. I believe that this particular doctor could have a change of heart. I pray for him. I pray for him to know our King, because he doesn't know him. He doesn't know him personally. I believe he's an atheist, right? Or an agnostic. And I recently had a discussion with a close friend of mine about that. Like, they're talking about how even atheists or agnostics can be kind and show kindness. And it's like, well, yeah, you know why? Because God's image, who he is still imprinted on human beings of all. of all. But when there's no relationship with that close relationship with our King, with our Creator, it is written what happens to us. So even if you're the best person in the world, if you do not acknowledge that God is who he is, and you do not strive to be close to him, I mean, I'm not God, so I don't know, I can't say, but I do know that there is something to be said of a close relationship with God, because it is written, as Yeshua said, that one day people will come to him and he will say, I never knew you. That to me is more scary than anything in this world. It is more scary to think of coming before God himself and him telling you, I never knew you. And what's more scary, not that I'm saying I'm not scared, but you know what I'm saying, is that he says, there will be those who cast out demons and who pray and who do this and this, and he will still tell them that. And I've met missionaries and pastors who have done these things in the name of our King. So there is more to it, a lot more. There's a lot more to be said, and we will see when that day comes who all was truly known by God and who wasn't. There's a lot of big names out there that have been questionable, big name preachers and pastors and teachers. I was heartbroken when a teacher, who I have greatly admired, started to talk to people in ways that I didn't find to be biblical. Just not kind, mean. One of the fruits of the Spirit is kindness. Obviously, there's a time and place to be difficult with people, like Yeshua was with people who'd been difficult with him. But still, he was never unkind, though, still. I realized, because even when he was stern with people, he just said it as it was, and it wasn't unkind. It was just as it was. Of course, in this day and age, people could say, that's not right, that's not kind, that's wrong. How dare you do that? How dare you say that to me? The snowflake generation, yeah. Yeah. But still, kindness is important. So yeah, that was something that happened just quite recently. I was terribly disappointed, and then I had to remind myself that no one's perfect. I've done things I regret, said things I regret. It's not, Yeshua's it's out of Yeshua's character, but that is all the more important to keep praying. Make us like you, Abel. Make us like you. Make us be like you, and just bathe us in your presence. The other thing that I find to be sad is that there are also a lot of people who pray for them to be more like God, and asking for that prayer. But then when the opportunity arises to test their patience, to test their peace, they don't take the opportunity to receive that as a blessing. For example, I heard a teacher talk about this once, which is very true. You ask for God to make you more humble, but then when a humbling situation happens, you're like, God, why did this happen to me? You ask God to make you more patient, like him, and then when something comes along to test your patience, you're like, God, take this away. Or when you ask God to help you to be peaceful in all situations, and then you have a very stressful situation come to pass, and then you're like, God, change this. Rescue me, basically. But there are opportunities that God brings to your life to bring about what you've asked. It's just probably not how you wanted it to look like. I used to pray when I was a teenager. I don't know. Or before that, I used to pray I don't know how long I was praying that, and I guess I think I still here and there pray for this because I think I can never have enough of it. I prayed for God to make me humble. And then when I was a teenager, I had a very humbling surgery. And I remember I had gotten upset with God about that. Now I look back and realize I would not have had it any other way. He knew best. But and it was a humbling experience, and that was really Him answering my prayer. So how interesting is that? I prayed for Him to do something else so I wouldn't have to have the surgery, and lo and behold, I had to have it. So, I saw. I'll give you another example. I'm not trying to bash anyone. So I hope it doesn't come across that way. It's good for me because I'm learning for me and realizing how imperfect I am. As God has given me an opportunity to share with people about Him. So in a position of some kind of leadership, it's good for me that I had I got connected with a pastor some time ago, and friends on Facebook too. And since you guys don't know who I'm talking about, I think it's safe for me to say this because you don't know who it is. So that's all you know, just a pastor. That this pastor had, we'd been talking about the possibility of me coming to do music at this church, and then it was set aside, which is fine, life happens. But the difference was, what was startling was that this pastor, then when I came to talk again, just in light conversation, there was like an ignoring of me. Oh, it's my phone. No, there's no duck in here. It's just set to quack when I get a message. I saw a post then about how for this new year that he wanted to be more caring, more giving, yada yada, the whole list of things that sound all good and great and Christian-like, or Messianic-like even. But in his case, Christian and everything. And I thought, well, that's great. And yet, certain small things, like the act of just acknowledging that someone is there, acknowledging who they are, just acknowledging them, is in fact an act of love and kindness, and how important it is to share that. For me, I will also share this just to be completely brutally honest, because I think it's important. And I don't know, maybe some of you can understand. You get a message. Well, I got a message. I don't know who it's from, but that's a good example. You get a message and you see who it is, and you're like, I don't know that I really want to talk to them right now, which is terrible. But I'm sure there's someone in your life that you care about them, but you're not as connected with them as, say, you are with someone else or some other people. Oh goodness, got something falling over here. But when the other day when I had this sort of feeling and this thought about how I was thinking towards this person, like I don't really want to talk to them right now. I was like, wait a minute. That is not how Yeshua thinks when we talk to him. When we reach out to him, he's like, yeah, all right, my child, my beloved one is wanting to talk to me, and let's get this done. Let's get this going, let's get this conversation going. And I was like, wow, God, I'm so sorry, because I know he understands that not all of us feel the same connection towards each other. And obviously he's God, we're not God, but still the enthusiasm to be connected and to just be in community, or if somebody has a need right then and there, to just, and it wasn't an emergency situation, how important it is for us to just be open-hearted and to receive them with joy, to receive them with excitement. And the same person that we think is not so amazing to us in life, and maybe they aren't, is the same person that Yeshua is all about excited to hear from. And yeah. So, yeah. Where was I going with this, guys? I guess there is somewhat of a connection with the Torah portion. Just being aware, maybe that's what it is. Being aware of opportunities to serve God, being aware of opportunities to bless His people, being aware, being not hard-hearted. Maybe there. I think that is a good. I don't know, how I got started on this rant, but like Pharaoh, I do believe Pharaoh had the opportunity to have a softened heart. I do believe that he did, but he didn't take the opportunity. Yeah. I just now realized you're all seeing how messy my tiny house is. Sorry about that. Yes. So I love you guys, by the way. If you have sent an email and I haven't responded to my ministry email, I am sorry, and I also want you to be aware that sometimes I get emails too from some of you that that's not related to the study, or which is fine. I want to hear from prayer requests and stuff. But I also have to be very careful because this is a YouTube channel, ministry channel. It is not. I am not here. I am your sister. For my brothers and my sisters, I am your sister. And for my sisters, I'm your sister. You're probably wondering, what are you talking about? But that email is not for the purpose of getting to know anyone on more than a sisterly and brotherly love level. That is not what it's for. So if I don't respond to you very often, please know that I just want things to be in the right heart and right perspective. And I do love you guys. I love all of you. My sisters and my brothers out there, you guys are important to me. And I want you to know that you are loved. Even if you don't hear from me, I think about you guys. I pray for you guys. Yeah, I really do. There's certain people and certain faces too that I've thought a lot about during this time that I haven't posted, because you guys have at certain times really blessed me and encouraged me with words or even financially, and I think about all of you. You're all awesome. So yeah, so be blessed, and hopefully we'll do another video soon, another study soon. Okay, shalom, shalom. Love you guys.